On today's Crochet Corner, we're going to talk about finishing techniques. How you finish your garments can be the difference between something that looks homemade and professionally handcrafted. I'd like you to take a look at this beautiful layette set here. Layettes hold a very special place in my heart because this is the very reason why I wanted to learn how to crochet in the first place. I was pregnant and wanted to make little layettes like this for my son before he was born. I'm going to show you some of the finishing techniques that are used on these cute little baby booties. They are really just made in one flat piece and then sewn up the back side and decorated in the finishing with these cute little pom-poms. The hat is also a very simple design in the fact that it's crocheted flat and then seamed up the back, and to create the shaping, this little crocheted chain is woven in through the top and then cinched to give you that nice hat shape, and decorated with the cute little pom-poms as well. It uses a contrast trim which is picked up and crocheted right into the edge for virtually no seaming, and then that contrast is also picked up again in the band around the sweater, which is crocheted sideways and then picked up and crocheted around the edge in the contrast yarn, which helps make the buttons pop and then allows for a real pretty striped sleeve. The types of finishing on the sweater would be, the most important part would be the safety in securing your yarn after sewing on your buttons, and then also sewing up the sleeves. In all of these finishing techniques, you're going to have tails. Tails are the loose yarn that is hanging from every time you start a new ball, finish a ball, or change colors in your project. And how you weave them in really will make the difference in how the garments wear once it's washed a few times. Sometimes these could come out, or if you don't use enough yarn in weaving in your ends when it comes out, you wouldn't be able to weave it back in. So I'm going to show you how I like to weave in ends today. We take something called a tapestry needle or a darning needle, which has a very wide eye at the top. That makes it a lot easier and a blunt tip also for going into the yarn, but it makes it a lot easier for inserting something thicker like yarn through that hole. And what we do is, again, you want several inches to use so that when you're weaving in, you start in one direction. If you continued on in one direction only as the garment is used and stretched, it could fall back out. So what we want to do is change direction. We're going to go around in one direction and then come up a little bit. Just going into the loops, because of that blunt tip, we're able to go in through different stitches without actually splitting the yarn. And we'll come back down and then turn around. And what you do then is, then once you feel like you've had enough yarn woven in, you're just going to snip it like that, and that's it. You can find the pattern for this beautiful layette on the website, and that's today's Crochet Corner.
Knitting Daily. Make time for yarn every day. Visit knittingdailytv.com for free access to all of the project instructions, ideas, tips, and techniques from this season of Knitting Daily.